I was going to do something completely different for this video, but as I was typing up the script for another anime, I noticed that this anime had finished airing without me even knowing. I remember putting it on my plan to watch list, but I had completely forgotten about it beforehand. The Ones Within is about a group of online personalities being transported somewhere where they meet a man in an alpaca mask who tells them that they have to play this real-life game that's being broadcasted and reach 100 million views if they want to return home. Each of these people have a specialty in a specific genre, and they must all work together through the various stages. They have no time limit to reach their goal, but there is a catch. If you defy the game, you get separated from everyone else until they fail the game or beat it. At first, the series might not seem like much, but if you can stick with it past the first episode, you'll likely find yourself enjoying this quite a lot. For a first episode, it's honestly a bit lackluster, but it is a good introduction for the series. It serves as a good way to introduce the real-life game of The Ones Within, Genome. When you're introduced to the rest of the cast, you start noticing that the characters are archetypes you've probably seen before. While they are characters that have been done the world over, they still manage to feel unique because of how they interact with one another and only get better as the series goes on because of how well placed the character development is. The series starts off pretty slow and feels episodic despite it not being that. It feels like this because it focuses around the characters and comedy more than its plot in the earlier half, but as it progresses, the plot becomes more apparent. While it is a bit slower, the early episodes do a great job of letting the viewer get to know and understand these characters. By the halfway point of the anime, you'll start seeing some of the more personal memories and experiences of our cast of characters. Through these, you get to know a great deal of why they act the way they do, and it even explains why some of them have a specialty for their certain genre of game. When you go into this anime, it comes off to the viewer as a sort of death game series. However, this really isn't the case, as it's more of a lighthearted series that reveals an underlying mystery as it progresses. While it makes it clear that the characters could die during certain stages, many of the levels that the anime goes through pose no such threat. Though, just because it's more lighthearted doesn't mean that it's without its fair share of drama around the heavier topics. The greatest strength that this series has is with its character dynamics. It feels a little bare at first, but watching how this group of 8 kids interact with one another gives you a good idea to what they're like, and the latter bits that tie more into the story help flesh out what gets presented towards you during the stages. While they're not the greatest characters, they're very likable and they have a certain charm about them which favors the comedy style that the series is going for. This anime has its flaws, but it's really too good of a show to pass up. The Ones Within is my number 6 of the summer anime season, and it's a series that I thoroughly enjoyed. It was a little on the lighter side of plot compared to the animes that are above it on the list, but it solidified itself in my top 10. The Ones Within is fairly simple for the most part, but if you like the Danganronpa series, chances are you'd love this. They're very similar in premise, but The Ones Within is very lighthearted in comparison and doesn't have the constant risk of a murderer hiding among the group of friends. Whenever its source gets enough material for a second season, I really hope we get to see this anime pop up again. It was pretty great, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more stuff be revealed as time passes, especially considering how the anime ended.